Hey, my friend, welcome back to my story, and if you come across to this video, kindly stick to the end and subscribe for more inspiring wisdom. In a quiet village surrounded by mountains, there lived a monk who often shared stories with travelers. One evening, as the sun melted into the horizon, a young man approached him. His clothes were worn. His face carried the weight of many sleepless nights. "Master," the young man said softly, "why does life keep giving me suffering? No matter how hard I try, I stay poor, tired, and lost." The monk looked at him for a long moment, then smiled gently. "Sit," he said. "Let me tell you a story. There was once a man named Riku. Riku was not always poor. In fact, he once had a small shop in a busy town. He worked hard, woke early, and believed that effort would bring him success. But life had other plans. One year, a storm destroyed his shop. The next year, thieves took what little he rebuilt. Soon after, illness kept him from working. With each loss, Riku grew weaker, not just in body, but in spirit. He began to believe something dangerous. Maybe I am not meant to succeed. So he stopped trying. Days turned into months, months into years. Riku lived in quiet suffering, watching others grow while he stayed stuck. One day, an old monk passed through his village. The monk noticed Riku sitting outside his broken home, staring at the ground. "Why do you sit here like a man already defeated?" the monk asked. Riku sighed. "Because I am defeated. Life has taken everything from me." The monk sat beside him. "Everything?" he asked. Riku nodded. "Everything that matters." The monk picked up a small stone from the ground and placed it in Riku's hand. "What is this?" he asked. "A stone," Riku replied. "Is it valuable?" "No." The monk smiled. "To most people, it is just a stone. But in the right hand, it can build a house, sharpen a tool, or mark a path." Riku frowned. "I don't understand." The monk looked at him carefully. "Your suffering is like this stone, useless, until you decide to use it." That night, Riku could not sleep. The monk's words echoed in his mind. Until you decide to use it. For the first time, he asked himself a different question. Not, "Why is this happening to me?" but, "What can I do with what has happened to me?" The next morning, Riku stood up. His body was still weak. His pockets were still empty. But something inside him had changed. He began small, very small. He offered to carry goods in the market for a few coins. People laughed at him at first. "Is this the same man who once owned a shop?" they whispered. But Riku kept going, day after day, step by step. He listened more, complained less. He watched how others traded, how they spoke, how they made money. He learned. Months passed. With the little money he saved, he bought simple items, fruit, cloth, small tools, and resold them. At first, he failed again. He made mistakes, lost money, trusted the wrong people. But this time, he did not stop. Each failure became a lesson. Each loss became a teacher. Years passed, slowly, quietly. Riku began to grow. His small trades became a stall. His stall became a shop. His shop became several. People began to respect him. "Riku is lucky," they said. But they did not see the truth. It was not luck. It was suffering, transformed. One day, many years later, Riku saw a young man sitting outside his shop. The young man looked tired, defeated, just like Riku once did. Riku walked up to him and asked, "Why do you sit here like a man already defeated?" The young man sighed, "Because life has taken everything from me." Riku smiled, the same way the monk once did. He picked up a small stone and placed it in the young man's hand. The monk looked at the traveler and asked, Do you understand the story?" The young man sitting before the monk was silent. Then slowly, he nodded. "So, suffering is not the end?" he asked. The monk shook his head. "Suffering is a tool. Most people carry it like a burden." He paused, then added, "But a wise man learns to carry it like a weapon, or build with it like a foundation." The young man looked at his own hands. For the first time, he did not feel empty. He felt possibility. The monk stood up and began to walk away. "Master," the young man called out, "what if I fail again?" The monk turned slightly and said, "You will." Then he smiled. "But this time, you will not stop." Moral of the story: pain is not your enemy. It is your raw material. What you build with it, that is your true wealth.